Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you like close to mid-afternoon for a episode review for a TV show, and this is for iCarly Reboot episode 8, which is for I Love Gwen is what it's called. So, I'm going to discuss what I watched for this episode and let you know my thoughts on it. So, let's dive into this review. Sorry, I was looking at my Xbox One for a moment, so please forgive me on that. Yeah, this episode was not too bad. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I think it had some good moments in it. But it's still, the jokes aren't really landing anymore. So it's just becoming a show that you can kind of take seriously now. It's unfortunate that a show I really like just is feeling like the script's getting watered down a bit. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to make it past a few seasons or whatever, but it did get renewed for a second season, which is unfortunate because I don't think it's my favorite show now due to the fact that some of the episodes are not really entertaining me as much. I mean, it's entertaining from time to time, but it's just I'm just getting a little worried that this show is gonna get canceled. But yeah, pretty much Freddy's ex or whatever, that his ex-wife or whatever comes in the show, which is Gwen is her name, and then Millicent and Carly are trying to get them back together, and apparently Gwen is seeing someone is what is the big spoiler. Which, if you haven't watched this episode on Paramount Plus or online, then you'll have to watch it. And sorry if I'm kind of spoiling it a bit. It's just, I don't know. This episode was fine, but nothing that special. Um, so I probably won't remember this iCarly episode that much. Like, it's okay, but it's just a basic episode, I guess you could say. Not to say that in a bad way, but uh, and pretty much in this episode, Harper and what is it? Spencer are trying to compete against each other to get a grand prize at Millicent's Romeo and Juliet play or whatever. That they're trying to volunteer so they could get a big prize for it. Which, yeah. But overall, I thought iCarly episode 8, the reboot for episode 8, it was fine. About average, I believe. Jokes are still not landing as much. It's at the beginning it was great. Now it's just become a fairly tad bit of a boring show now. Like, I don't know. I'm just not feeling for this. Just in my honest opinion, I don't think this show's gonna make it past season 2. It may get to season 2, but that's just what I believe. But I don't know. You never know. Paramount Plus might do a full 180 on you and be like, "Oh, we're gonna keep this show running." When clearly it's not doing very good viewer wise. Once the viewer watches it, they're like, "This is what we're getting for the reboot." It's kind of boring, to be honest. But for a score, I'm gonna give episode 8 for iCarly Reboot a 7.5 out of 10. Another average episode. I didn't hate this episode. I just felt there wasn't any good strong points in this episode. So pretty much this show is it's not landing very well and entertaining me as much. But uh it's entertaining, but it's not full on great. So maybe I'm choosing my words a little bit wrong, so please forgive me on that. But I'm just not gonna remember this season that much. There were some good points, like the beginning was funny. Now it's just the jokes are flat, and it's getting to be a stale show, to be honest. So I think iCarly ran its course for the time it ran its course, which was back in 2007 or 2008 or something like that, all the way to 2012, and then they probably shouldn't have done a reboot, but they did anyway. So what happened happened, and let's hope the next few episodes get a little better. But comment below, let me know what you guys thought of the episode 8 for iCarly reboot for I Love Gwen. If you enjoyed this episode review, or if you watched this episode on Paramount Plus or online or whatever, and if you did watch this episode or like this episode review, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can, support the channel. Like I said, this episode wasn't that bad. It just, the jokes are not really landing as much. It's just not that entertaining. Because iCarly is meant to be a weird, funny show. And it's just feeling like a flat, watered down comedy now. A certain sitcom or whatever. So it's not really that funny anymore. Because I'm just not feeling for these episodes. I'm just cringing a bit. Like, this is starting to bore me a bit, kind of shit. But, hey, it ran its course for the time it did. So, I think after season 1, I don't know what I have this tendency where I always keep watching to see if it gets better, but no, it's getting boring. I'm almost ready to cut myself off from iCarly and say, no, I think I'm done. It ran its course for the time. Now it's just, but that's all I can say. But I will be returning to you for another video. It'll be for the Thrice track review for Scavengers, I think it's called. And then I'll do a movie review later on tonight. So I hope you enjoyed this episode 8 review for I Love Gwen. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. Stay safe, take care, and as always, I will see you in my next video.